What's up guys? Welcome to my video for 5 things I hate about my Scion FRS. So I've been wanting to do this one for a while, and I was trying to think of stuff last night because I thought it would be kind of easy because no car is perfect, you know, but it was actually kind of hard for me because I absolutely love this car. So let's get started. Alright, number 1 is no armrest on the center console. I don't get this at all because on the GT86, BRZ, they have padded armrests, and on the FRS, they don't. It's just a big empty plastic space that just looks weird and out of place. I don't understand it because these things like this would not have added too much extra cost to the final bill on the car. And it's just one thing that adds a little bit of comfort that they could have easily just put in there. Speaking of armrest, brings me to my second thing I hate about my FRS, and that is the armrest on the driver's side. It is really cheap. The padding they use is just really uncomfortable. It breaks down after not very long, and after a little bit of time it's just plastic basically. I don't know what they did there. They could have used a much better material, and I think hopefully on the newer ones they updated that, but on mine, on longer road trips and things, you definitely start to feel it. Alright, number 3 thing I hate about my Scion FRS is no fucking backup camera. I don't understand this. It's a 2013. The visibility out the rear is not the greatest. It's not the worst, but it's definitely not the greatest. And they could have easily put this in. I've seen aftermarket ones that go right in with the stock head unit for about $100, and they could have easily got it way less than that. So they should have just made it standard on this car. I don't get it. The 4th thing I hate about my Scion FRS is the speedometer on the gauge cluster. Now in the center you have an awesome tack gauge, big, bold, and in the middle it tells you what speed you're going, but on the left hand side of the gauge cluster it is a really small speedometer, and most of the time, like when you're going, you know, 50, 60, it shoots like straight down. It doesn't make any sense. It just looks out of place. You're never gonna look at it. So I don't know if they had to put that in there because you have to have a manual one or an analog, I should say. But I don't know. I feel like they could have done something different with that made the cluster look much better and more usable. Number 5, the warranty on this car. Now, from the factory, brand new, this car had a 3-year, 36,000 mile bumper to bumper and a 5-year, 60,000 mile powertrain warranty. So, being a Toyota, the thing I think of when I think of Toyota is reliability. So, they should have a fucking warranty that backs that up. But, in all honesty, that is not very good considering some other warranties that are offered out there in the market today. So, why I hate it is because the bumper to bumper 3-year 36,000 miles isn't that much to begin with. But my car, I got it right after the 3-year, and it has about 50,000 miles on it right now, so it's coming up on the 60,000 powertrain. Now, when you say powertrain, you think of everything that's included to make this car move, and Toyota doesn't look at it like that. So a couple months after I bought it, I had a coil pack go out. Very, very common problem. Toyota knows about it, and it ended up being about $1,000 just to replace that. But luckily, the dealership I went to, I won't say the name, but the service writer thought that it was under the powertrain warranty, and they actually covered that part. So that part worked out in my favor, but it shouldn't have been covered. Or it should have been, but Toyota wasn't going to cover it. Second thing that I've had an issue with is it had a coolant leak. Dealership said it was a radiator. Well, they wanted $1,000 to replace that as well, or really close to it. And I'm not sure if it actually was the radiator. I showed me replacing the radiator in a previous video, but I think it was actually a cracked filler neck. But anyways, the powertrain warranty was not going to cover that as well. So I think with a car with only 50,000 miles, they should be replacing shit like a radiator or a coil pack. Those things should not be going out at that period of time. That's like 100,000 miles or more. So that part really gets at me, because being Toyota, they should really back that up. Alright, I got a bonus one for you guys. let's address the FT86 world famous torque dip. Now personally, I don't have a big issue with it, but yes, on a dyno you can see it and you hear all sorts of people piss and moan about it, including owners, journalists. It's not that bad. Normal day driving, you hardly ever even get into it. I believe it's from like 35 to 45 RPM, 35 to 4500 RPM. If you're really driving the car enthusiastically, you're more than likely going to be above 4,000 RPM, where you're well above it. And if you're going in a straight line or whatever, you're just going through the gears, you shouldn't drop below that 4,000 RPM. You should stay right in the power band of this car, which is all at the top end of it. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's easily fixed with the open flash tablet, headers, stuff like that. So if you're thinking about this car, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. And the people that complain about it, they've probably already fixed it. So I wouldn't worry about it. It doesn't bother me. And I'm planning on fixing the little bit of torque dip that I think it has. So that's all I got on that. Well, thank you for watching today's video, guys. Please hit that like button if you like this video, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and tell me what are some things you hate about your car in the comments. Later.
Go on and hate me, because I do what I do. Go on and hate me, cause I got nothing to prove. Go on and hate me, cause I got nothing to prove.